Whether or not you're a big Spielberg fan, this movie's great. It's really fun to watch.
I think it is definitely something that even a modern audience would find enjoyment from.
Welcome back. Oh, that's too dramatic. Welcome back to Kyle and Dave versus the Machine, the Friday movie review edition.
The late night Friday movie.
This week we're talking about Duel. Duel. We'll do it there. Duel. Steven Spielberg's first film. We watched it. We've talked about it ad nauseum on our audio version of our podcast. But Kyle, give me a shortened, truncated, made-for-TV version of your thoughts on this.
Right. It's good. No, I really like this movie. I actually liked it. I like this way more than I even thought I was going to. I think you can see the power of Spielberg even in this very early work of his, the way he places the camera, how he ratchets up tension. It's really just Dennis Weaver on screen for the vast majority of this film, and yet we're still able to empathize, sympathize with him, and give him very little information about this truck that's terrorizing him on the California highways. The ghost truck. And as we say in our episode, this great way of giving us information at the beginning and paying off that information an hour later into the film. That's just a master filmmaker at work, and I think that it's easy to see that on display here. One thing we did not mention in our review that I just remembered from maybe just rewatching the trailer here recently, this movie is kind of weird. The snake scene is bonkers, off the wall crazy. Why that is even in this movie, I loved it. I like it when movies get weird. This movie is not afraid to get weird. I think it is definitely something that even a modern audience would find enjoyment from.
He was prepping us for Indiana Jones.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yeah, I agree with Kyle. I was shockingly, pleasantly, titillatingly surprised in the watching of this film. We got to watch the rental version on iTunes, which is remastered, and it is a fantastic experience. For a movie that's shot for a low budget, what did you say the budget was?
$450,000.
It's not a lot of money.
It does not feel like it's that cheap.
Yeah, it's got a great sense of scope. It brings you into the narrative. I mean, it's not actually a ghost truck as far as we can tell, but it's just, I've lived this. It's just a dude with emotional insecurities who gets into road rage incident with a trucker. Never do that. And it just devolves or evolves into a duel. Essentially, a giant truck with a mysterious driver is going to kill Dennis Weaver, but not with an accident, but by torturing him psychologically for
like a cat and a mouse. He's just playing with his prey.
Swiping. Didn't they say dogs are more dangerous to mice than cats? Because dogs will actually kill them, and cats play with them and they don't die. Kyle hates mice.
I just don't like them, so don't bring it up. Now I'm grossed out, terrified.
I learned there's no rats in Alberta. We'll talk about that next time. Whether or not you're a big Spielberg fan, I think everybody is at some level. This movie's great. It's really fun to watch. It's teeth gritting, and it has a lot of the same themes that we were offended by in Straw Dogs. Not that we hated that movie, but it was so brutal. This is the same kind of thing. It's about how far you can push a man to the breaking point and then what happens after.
What I also like about this movie, also something I realized, I don't know if I brought this up in our main review. What did we talk about in our main review?
Critics.
Yeah, we did. We talked about critics a lot. It's the same thing that Jaws does in that you have a man. They're very different people, Sheriff Brody in Jaws and this gentleman. But what is similar is that you feel bad when they're legitimately asking for help and not receiving it. Like there's a scene in this movie where he's like, hey, can you he flags someone down on the road, like, can you just go and call the police? And they're like, no, why would I do that? It's like, I'm just asking you to make a phone call. Just please go and make a phone call.
You know what I loved about that scene? Yeah, I agree with you. And it does make you feel bad, but he is so frantic at that point.
True enough.
If I was an old lady were they in a bug? I don't know what they were driving.
Some small car.
I would just be like, do not talk to this fucking crazy dude anymore. And just step on the gas, Myrtle, or whatever his name is. Lyle. What is an old-timey name, pal? Billy Bob? Ezekiel. Yeah. They should bring that back. Ezekiel.
They should. This a strong thriller / horror film that is expertly done. Do I think it's the top level Spielberg? No, but it's a solid movie. I would definitely recommend anyone check this out if they're interested to see his early work or just 70s film in general of what it could be. I'm excited I was able to actually watch this film for the first time.
We did compare apples and oranges with George Lucas because we just talked about THX. And the main gist is that Spielberg's clearly a storyteller and a movie maker. And the way he uses his camera.
He's interested in the actual craft and the art of cinema.
Like even with this low budget, I mean, I don't have $450,000, but even with this low budget for a film, he is able to build a movie. Whereas George Lucas got a lot of money and he built a car chase scene and tried to kill a motorcycle driver stuntman. It's not bad. THX is not terrible.
The other example I gave, though, we recently watched Escape from the Planet of the Apes. And of course, I'm a big lover of those films. Some would say an apologist for those films, but I won't say who. Did you say an apologist? Is that what you just said? Apologist would have been funnier. That movie was made to be released in theaters and looks cheap as made for television, whereas Duel was made for television but looks like it was made for movie theaters to be released into. It's able to like remove itself from the trappings of its own genre and limitations. So it kind of shows you what the power that a great director can bring to a property.
I had this picture. Remember when you'd always see people like doing this?
Yeah.
The mic. I feel like Steven Spielberg just lives walking around the neighborhood.
I've seen people do this, so I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. It's not going to change the quality of this YouTube video. So.
No. Maybe you can put yourself in focus this time.
Oh, I didn't actually try it. We'll see if it worked. I forgot to click the button. All right. Well, what do we have to do? The thing? Subscribe. If you want more, and you do, check out the audio because we speak a lot about all of these films.
Get into it.
Like a minimum hour and a half.
A little bit of the backstory and making of this film, but also some other the themes that are brought up.
Spoiler alert, I gave this movie a particularly positive score, and Kyle and I actually agreed on something.
Yeah,
so
it's not been happening very often this season, so I relish the fact that I didn't have to yell at Dave for an hour and then immediately go and have an hour-long nap. Because as an introvert, conflict sucks.
This is how I know you've never tried to chase down a truck on a freeway.
I have not, no.
Thanks for watching. Click the subscribe button coming up. I think I've been doing it at the end, and we'll see you next week when we watch horror.
Horror. You have to make sure you say the two syllables there, or else it sounds like a different word.
Oh.
Horror. Yeah.
What did I say? Did I say horror?
That's what it sounded like to me for a moment, yes. Like, what movie are we watching? I don't know.
I don't even know. Now we're just blubbering.
We are in the thick of the Halloween season, so we are continuing to watch more scary films up until the end of the month.
So there's only one more, or do we have to watch more than one?
There might be 3.
Fuck.
Probably.